Super Rugby AU round number 7. I've put in a few tars this week. Probably more tars than I've ever had in this season at AU because they actually put in a decent shift. Is Michael Checker going to be the coach? Wouldn't have thought so. But he would have been watching. And he and other New South Wales fans may have been pretty pleased what they saw from the boys at the weekend. But otherwise, there was a big win from the Reds and a bit of a struggle from the Brumbies to put the Tars away. And the Rebels are the one team that actually struggled this week. But anyway, I'll go through the 15 guys. And as always, you guys can let me know. There's a bug on my board. Get out of here. What you guys thought and who you would have had on your side. Props. One of them is a tar. And old Gus Bell. He's still good around the park, isn't he? His around the park numbers are always phenomenal. Obviously, you still pick props mainly about their scrummaging, but try to ignore 18 runs for 47 metres from a prop. I can't do it. He has 2 defenders beaten, 5 passes and an offload. He makes 4 tackles and doesn't miss any. He only concedes 1 penalty. He has 1 turnover conceded. Gus Bell. I want him to get more exposure. Another guy who doesn't need any more exposure from the Reds, I should have picked him last week, is Taniela Tupou. He is a man mountain. He has 2 tries, including one of them where he does like a swan dive finish, which was something I never need to see again. 4 runs for 30 metres. Attacking prop is just kind of that's his thing, isn't it? Maybe Gus Bell wants to try. We beat him with the run meters this week. Maybe not so much with the tries. A clean break. What's a prop doing getting a clean break? I don't know. A defender beaten. He has no passes. He was just running this week. 2 tackles. He misses 2, so not a perfect outing from Taniela. But no turnovers conceded. Only 1 penalty conceded, and that tends to be the area that he does sometimes struggle. But yeah, overall, good propping outing from the Aussie props this week, which is pleasing to see. Hooker is one where this man Falau Fainga didn't really blast any other props out of the water, and that might have been one thing he should be looking to do, given he's not made the initial Wallabies training squad. But there is one area I do like, and that's his work rate. So he gets a try, which is one that I don't want to be disrespectful, but most hookers who are playing in that Brumbies pack will end up picking up tries due to their ability to score from the maul. But he gets a try. He has 6 runs for 11 metres, which is solid without being that spectacular. It's more runs than Tupou got, although fewer metres, but it's a lot less than Angus Bell. So take that for what it's worth. He doesn't get any clean breaks or defenders beaten. He has 1 pass, so I didn't see that much ball in the scheme of things. But I do like his 9 from 9 tackles, and I do like the line out being at 100%. He does concede 1 penalty, but yeah, line out 100%, making a heap of tackles and scoring maul tries is pretty much what he needs to be doing, and he is doing that. For locks, interestingly, guys that I don't know as much about, it was pleasing to see Nick Frost get a good game for the Brumbies. And again, kind of built on a big old work rate performance from him. It doesn't end up with much offensive numbers. No tries, no try assists. 5 runs, 4 metres is nothing all that flash. A clean break and 2 defenders beaten. How he did that by only running 4 metres, I have no idea. But he has 6 passes, which is a good involvement level. 16 out of 18 tackles is a great involvement level. Doesn't concede any turnovers. Doesn't concede any penalties. Does win 3 lineouts and does steal 1 lineout. So overall, I thought that's a really good core shift from a good lock. And likewise, Jeremy Williams from the Tars, who, God, have I seen him play before? Maybe, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play again. Because he, although he doesn't get any tries or try assists, 3 runs for 27 metres is a phenomenal return. A clean break and a defender beaten. 4 passes is not quite as busy as Nick Frost, but it's only 2 passes less. 8 from 8 tackles is also a very solid shift. 2 turnovers conceded is the black mark if you're looking for it, but also 6 line-out wins means he's athletic enough to be lifted. So, yeah, happy days. good to pick a tar. Another tar in the loose forwards, I've gone with Hugh Sinclair. I wanted to try and pick an out-and-out 6 if I could. I don't know that Valtini or Scott Young, or who was it for the Rebels? I can't even remember. None of them made a huge impression, but Sinclair was like solid without being phenomenal. 7 runs, 11 metres is, it's good without being great, like I said. No clean breaks, no defenders beaten. 7 passes, though, with an offload means he's involved in the build-up play. And 10 from 12 tackles is a pretty good return as well. He doesn't have any turnovers conceded. He only concedes 1 penalty. And he even has 4 line-out wins, which is an extra string to his bow, which is not always needed, but certainly nice to have. Now, another Lucy, this time from the Reds. Fraser McRae. He's having a phenomenal season, I reckon. He's not the biggest guy, but he doesn't need to be the biggest guy, when he puts in that kind of performance. He gets a try, which is one, he didn't have to travel all that far to get it. It was essentially a quick pickup from one phase after, who was it that had gone close? Someone had gone, was it Campbell, had gone agonisingly close. And then McRae gets it from McDermott. So goes over for the try, 4 runs for 8 metres, credited with a clean break and 2 defenders beaten. He doesn't have any passes, which was maybe one area you would look at as a bit of concern, but 14 from 14 tackles. He's always a threat around the breakdown. He's a very good player as well. I'll have to look up some of these guys' ages at some point because I feel like Bell, Tupou, I don't know what something else, McRae. I feel like a lot of these guys are pretty young, which bodes well for Aussie rugby going forward, which I'm pretty happy about. The other Lucy I went with was a number 8 in Michael Wells from the Rebels. Again, losing effort in a team that wasn't doing that good. And I've been a fan of his for a while, for a couple of years at least. But he's never really taken the step up from being good to like test level candidate. But he had one of his better outings, I'll admit. He's got a good work rate. He ends up with a try out on the wing, so good finish from him. Good fitness to still be there and full of running. He has 7 runs for 36 metres, which is a better return than a lot of guys this week. He ends up with a clean break, which is probably his try. There's nobody in front of him. 4 defenders beaten. He has 6 passes and 2 offloads, so he does have the hands. He only has 3 out of 3 tackles, which is like a low number for him. Usually he's a real high work rate tackler guy, but not so much this week. Maybe that's a detriment to the Rebels outing, to be fair. But no turnovers conceded, no penalties conceded. He's just really athletic, and he tends to be everywhere. So yeah, pretty pleased for Michael Wells. And he put in a try-saving tackle on I just mentioned his name a minute ago, Campbell. I know they score a phase later, but he's there to put in that try-saving tackle. That's one of his 3 tackles. So, yeah, really athletic, really, really good player. Not the biggest guy, but, yeah, if you're looking for that kind of athletic number 8, he's certainly a guy that fits the bill. Scrum half, Tate McDermott. He's still in good form, man. Still in good form. Ends up with that try assist, like that's the one I mentioned, the one to Fraser McRae. He ends up with 3 runs for 15 metres, which for a scrum half is good. It's a controlled number of runs. He's not running everything. It's not his primary job, but he's got to do it every now and again when there's the opportunity on to keep the defenders guessing. He has a clean break, 3 defenders beaten, which means he's being productive when he is running it. 43 passes, doesn't offload, but has 4 tackles and 3 missed, which is, again, like uncharacteristic for some of the Reds guys. Like him and Tupou don't have the best defensive numbers this week, and it's one thing Brad Thorne really focuses on, but 1 turnover conceded when he's passing the ball that much. Pretty solid result as well. Fly half, it's another Reds man, and it's the Reds guys who really accumulated all the points that it's hard to ignore this week, man. He ends up with 2 try assists. I think Lolosio had 3, but Lolosio's goal kicking at the start kind of almost put the Brumbies in a dodgy position towards the end, whereas O'Connor finishes with 4 conversions, 2 penalties. He really kept the scoreboard ticking over. 6 runs, 28 metres. Again, good use of his running game. Ends up with a clean break at 3 defenders beaten. 19 passes, 5 from 5 tackles. So one of the Reds guys who ends up with a pretty a pretty good record, and no turnovers conceded, no penalties conceded. So a real, I want to be the Wallabies starting first five, and should be the starting first five performance from him. Pleasing. Midfield, Lalakai Foketi from the Tars ends up with 2 try assists, or both of them are kind of ones that maybe any midfielder in that position should be doing. One of them's a charge down. He gathers it and then pops it to the next guy. And one of them's where they've got the 15 on 13 and it's just through the hands. He draws his man as he should do and gives the pass. So just kind of doing what he should be doing rather than anything spectacular. But still, you've got to do that job. Like, he doesn't make a poor decision and try to go for the line himself kind of thing. So still credit where that's due. 13 runs for 46 metres is a phenomenal return. Very happy with that. Very busy and very effective. 3 clean breaks and 4 defenders beaten is among the best of the guys this week. He does have 9 passes, so he's not just a guy who's just crash and bash. 6 tackles, misses 1. Good return and 1 turnover conceded. Very pleasing. So overall, very consistent. Very happy with him. And another guy you'd be pretty happy with, Hunter Paisami. His tackle stats are weird that he's none from 1, but Stewart makes like 12 out of 13. So Stewart does all the tackling for both of them. Hunter's focusing on the hunting. He gets 1 try, which is a great intercept effort. Good read from him from a poor Hodge pass. 8 runs for 125 metres. At least half of those are the intercept. 3 clean breaks. Again, one of those is the intercept. 4 defenders beaten. 4 passes. He does have 1 turnover conceded, 2 penalties conceded, and as I mentioned, none from 1 tackles. But Paisami continues to grow and better his game. You'd be happy if you're a Wallabies supporter. I'm not saying this is the, anything more than what it is. It's some good performances in Super Rugby AU, but there's a bit of reason for some optimism, which is, it's good to have good things to talk about. Outside backs, you've got Andy Muirhead from the Tars. Scored a try, which maybe he shouldn't have been able to score. He beats about 3 guys on the way to the try line. The Tars will be defensively pretty frustrated with that. 8 runs, 57 metres. Again, is a very nice return. Beats 4 defenders, probably 3 of them in the try. A clean break, which is probably the try. Only the 1 pass, which is an offload. He does miss 3 tackles and makes only 2 and does have 2 turnovers conceded. So far from a perfect effort, but especially in that first half, looked very dangerous. Another guy who looked dangerous in a losing effort, man, was Frank Lamani. I thought he was a scrum half. Apparently he's the best winger this week, man. He gets a try and a try assist. He has 10 runs for 63 metres. He gets 3 clean breaks, 3 defenders beaten, 3 passes. 1 tackle made, 1 tackle missed, and 2 turnovers conceded. But man, he was just everywhere. His team wasn't doing that well, but when he got the ball, something was going to happen. So, happy days for him. Pleased to see him do pretty well. And then, lastly, got your man Tom Banks from the Brumbies. Finishes with a try, and he took that so well. Showed some proper gas, had a good running line, good eye for it. 11 runs, 119 run meters. 2 clean breaks, 7 defenders beaten, which has to be the highest this week. 5 passes and an offload. Makes 1 tackle, misses none. 1 turnover conceded. Overall, pretty happy effort from him as well. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a healthy mix. Maybe too many Tars, given they lost. Maybe not enough Reds, given how good they were. I don't count them. I just pick them. So yeah, we'll see. But you guys let me know your thoughts. Certainly some performances which were not complete, but certainly had enough for me to like about them. But you guys let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you again soon. See you later.